Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray, Skip Bayless, and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal to the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket, put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
Welcome to the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of the day. Yours truly, Jim Hicks. I know you guys are surprised as hell to see me on and active at the buzzer on tip-off. I'm live. I'm in the starting lineup today. We're going to welcome you starting five. You guys, we're going to keep this thing, and at shortly, you'll be getting the 120 minutes of Jim Hicks. Back soon. Just hold tight. And as soon as I finish untying some stuff and get back into full gear, I will be able to give you guys all 120 minutes of myself alongside Robert Hatter. Now, of course, Hatter is on location. He'll be calling in shortly. We got special guests coming for you at the top of the hour. We're gonna ask you guys to share the show right now. We're gonna get this Monday started off right. We got so much to talk about in regards to Olympics. We're gonna talk about of course, amateur basketball tournaments going around. There's a team from H-Town that went and won a national title on their respective sneaker circuit yesterday. So much. And of course, we're going to answer and bring up the topics and answer some of your questions that you may have now that the stuff starts to get real especially for those rising seniors. Believe it or not, school starts next week for a lot of districts around Greater Houston. Teachers go back to work in many districts today. I remember people didn't go back to school till around Labor Day. But that stuff is factored into the business of the public schools systems around in every state. They factor in a lot of the missing days now because of, as a result of possibly global change, climate change that is, and they factor in the missing days that kids will miss and estimated, and so that means they started earlier, that is, and here we are. But meanwhile, the summer is over. Summer is over. It's back to school time. I know some school districts that has added in a week off, multiple weeks off throughout the calendar for the teachers and the kids, just to say, I don't even need to see your ass for a week. That's if you're one of the teachers that are watching right now, and that's one of your districts, hey, roll call. Let us know what districts you know of. There are some districts. I've seen the calendars. And it happened last year. Well, they have a week off. I forgot what they call it, but it's really a week to just disconnect from. I don't need to see you. I need to just get away from your ass for a week, and I get back with you after that. Go home to your mammy or your pappy. Meanwhile, we're going to get into the starting five on knowledge, you guys. Jeremy Davis, Simeon Sims, Darrell Anderson. I know you're selling the 7 C's somewhere. Joe Lewis Jr., Thaddeus Moody up in Chi-Town from the Windy City. Shout out to you guys. And of course, you know, those are my starting five today. And we welcome you guys and all of you into the Chop Shop. Once again, like I said, let's get this thing popping. Let's share the show. Then let's get it rocking. First up, we'll go Olympics. First up. First game of the Olympics was yesterday for men's basketball. I did not get to see the game. We had an event, JRB events, Rick Nelson and myself, and it was on yesterday, a one-day event. We only charged the teams $50. They get to play 2 games. Now this prevents teams from being stuck in the gyms all weekend. This prevents some parents to feel like they're prisoners of events. I'm going to get back to USA basketball in a second. I want to explain to get this off the chest. This should have been first. I applaud Rick Nelson for buying into the concept or the ideology of doing his part as an OG in this amateur basketball sector to combat the rising, skyrocketing prices of grassroots basketball. So, say, okay, what do we do? Well, man, if everybody's complaining about the prices, and they spiked upwards, they doubled in like 2-year span. The price, so that means fees are already at an all-time high. Door admissions are at an all-time high. Then you have event operators, they'll peek over at each other and say, well, hell, if one is charging $20, then why should I charge $15? If one is charging $15, why should I charge $10? And it's funny thing is because everybody, just like the kids, many of these young kids are led to believe that they're all equal. Many of these kids are led to believe that they're all Division I prospects. Many of these event operators somehow are led by somebody to believe that these events are equal to or greater than. And it's not the case. It's just not the case. And then when you play mirror on the wall and you break it down, then you're either a hater, you become the enemy now, simply because you just basically explained to somebody. And I asked that question. Of course, bang for your buck. Everybody wants a better bang for their buck. You want a great product for less price. And then eventually those are the businesses, and customer service is very underrated in our community, right? And I'm looking at, hold on one second, I'm just reading the comments. Tanya says, you left us out over on YouTube, Jimmy. Oh, shout out to my YouTube folks as well that's streaming right now. You guys give us a thumbs up. I'm making sure you weren't saying that the stream couldn't be seen on YouTube. Sorry about that, breaking my my concentration. Now, I'm telling the guys, I say everybody wants the best bang for their buck, which is true. It's nothing. That's just how life goes. But customer service is something that a lot of people just. Let me tell you something. Everybody got a relative, your grandmama, your Madea, your mama, that had a dish that she made, and on this dish, that became your favorite dish. And no matter wherever you ate it at, you compared it to her dish or his dish. It might have been a meat that your grandpa might have put on the grill. Whatever it was, wherever you ate it at, it made you compare it to them. And then you would say, boy, it ain't nothing like Pawpaw's. Or it ain't nothing like Mama's. It ain't nothing like my grandma. It ain't like Nooney's. And that means her recipe. My Noonie, that was my grandmother. My daddy's mom. Noonie made a lot of stuff good. To me, I mean, for real, she just was that good of a cook to me. And trust me, I got the best of both worlds, because Noonie was the side of my daddy's side of the family. They were the 2 or 3 generations of mixed marriages. We call them half-breeds. My mama was straight. My mama's mama would cook the raccoon and the chitlins and all that. Noonie never. That wasn't that side. So I got the best of both worlds for us eating when I was a little boy. Noonie's meat pies. To this day, I've never tasted a meat pie like Noonie. When Noonie passed, my sisters got the recipe to her meat pies. They thought they had won a lottery ticket. My sister Terry got them and tried to make the meat pie. Giselle tried to make the meat pies. It wasn't Noonie's. They were meat pies. They were good. Terry made them meat pies. They're good. But boy, that crust just couldn't. It was something about the recipe that Noonie gave them the car, but not the key. That's my point about this grassroots basketball, about running events. Many people can go and run an event or can go and put on an event, but their problem-solving skills may not be compatible to the next guy. What are you going to do if somebody dunks and breaks the rim? I've been through that before. I know I'm already programmed. Many people ain't been through that before. What would you do if the sprinklers go off? Or if something happened to some kids in the back lighting up, smoking a joint, and the sprinklers go off in the gym? What do you do if there's a certain type of altercation? What do you do if the kids or the parents ask for insurance for them because the kid got to go to the hospital? What do you do if you're running so far behind on the court and you got a team that's forfeiting? What do you do if a parent comes in the game to see a kid play and the grandmama's with them and they got 6 other kids with them? What do? You gonna charge them all $20 a piece? Problem solving skills, customer service, it goes a long way. And I'm telling you guys, when you're doing these events, I can go, there are people around the area that can do events, and there's some that does good events. But I tell you flat out, I know after almost 25 years of doing this stuff, doing events, it ain't nobody that can run an event in this city better than me with my fingers on it. Nobody. You know why? Because I care a lot more about things that I know, and I've worked with a lot of guys. And trust me, I know what they don't give a shit about, and I know what they do give a shit about. And the one thing that they do give a shit about the most, I don't, and that's the money. The one thing that they don't give a shit about the most, and that's the people, I do. Big difference. So when you're in between, you're those extremes, they're never going to. They're going to always care about the money first. Always. Most of them. And they're not going to give a shit about you as much. Not to say they won't or they can't. I'm talking about on a collective effort. You are an armband. You're an armband to most event operators. When I'm gone, it's gonna be so many people that are gonna be like, man, that Jim Hicks, he said it, man, he spit it out, he was right on it. You know, nobody's gonna say what I'm gonna say. like I'm going to say it. And that's the thing that I explained to you. So that's not a saying don't go to people events. It's just that now you guys have become, you have been awakened. Your antennas have been pulled up. And you have been informed and been taught how to become better consumers. So you have a whole half a year. A lot of you program directors who chose to play on different events and thought you were going to be treated. Remember, you led these kids to believe, because you played on a JV circuit somewhere, that y'all were equal just because you're going to the same city. Then you get there and the parents get to see, after 2 or 3 of those events, you're not equal. They're not treating you the same. This was basically we got. And that's what it happens. Guess what? You're not the first, you're not the last. What happens is many of you parents have to open up and be able to spread that word to the next person. It ain't nothing against, and guess what? I used to be able to say, I hold the program directors accountable. Not so much so now, because these spills are so good, these solicitations, these emails. The program director just trying to satisfy you guys, the parents. They just, because they know that that's what you want. So let's go, and we're going to go and be a part of this Pro Kids sneaker circuit. We're going to play the JV. They're going to make us, we can get a chance, and we win. We can get a deal. After you try it and you evaluate how it went, then you say to yourself, okay, was it worth it? If you felt it was worth it, then you go proceed, carry on. If not worth it, then guess what? You have to go and reevaluate and do better. And for you, those of you who have older guys, meaning upperclassmen, 10th graders, 11th graders, and you played these circuits, and you based on the money that you spent, in the upcoming months, you guys are going to be, the recruitment of your players will help dictate the worth for some of your teams. The satisfactory of your parent base. Pick their brains. Do a questionnaire. Ask them. Those are your consumers. Those are your constituents. It's like you're a city councilman, and you're serving the parents and the basketball families up under your umbrella. I'm giving you guys game, you young guys out there with teams. Feel good to be able to run your own stuff, get a deal. You got to buy all this product. Now, what do you do now? Do you realize and wake up? Or do you push on forward and say, you know what? It did work for us. We good. Each his own. But excuse me. I know one thing for sure. I know that you know that there's a difference. You've seen it with your own eyes. There's a difference. You saw when the live period came, you saw where the college coaches was and what courts they were on and what courts they wasn't on. The opportunity, if that was the case and the opportunity was to play in front of the college coach, guess what? Job well done. But you don't let yourself get fooled the same way twice in this stuff. Don't let yourself get fooled the same way twice. And we got one comment right here. Herb Baker says there wasn't one single coach watching the Under Armour Rise championship game respectfully. Anybody counter that? Anybody come back? Anybody disagree with that? I wasn't there. He's a coach. He was there. Was it worth it? You know? Guys, in case you didn't know, at the top of the hour, right now it's 20 minutes past the hour. In about 40 minutes, we're going to be joined by a young man and his family who've established a program. And in this program, I've watched them, and it's been nothing but great things that has transpired from their program. They've got, and he's going to tell you about it. I don't want to go jump the gun, but they're doing things, and they won a championship in their first lap around on the 17 and under track yesterday. So Say Pay with the Fam Elite. It's going to join us at the top of the hour. So this team is primarily Greater Houston players. They went and won first place over programs that were the best from their area, the best from their state, the best from their region. And this was a fragment of the talent that is in one metropolitan area. A lot of people don't understand it's that much talent. And I say it all year after year, you hear me say this, that everybody has a good starting five. Every year, it's going to be, every team has a good starting five. But when you go on a circuit like that, our 6 through 8, our 6 through 9 that is, or 6 through 10, is going to be pound for pound far greater than most other teams 6 through 10. Out for our better teams. Seriously. And understand, because if there's a team, and you don't understand what I'm saying, let's say, for example, if the team is from Oklahoma. Well, most of the talent from Oklahoma is going to be plucked up by either Trae Young or Team Griffin. Then another fragment of players, maybe 3, will get plucked by DFW teams on the average. So that's 5 going to Trae Young, 5 going to Team Griffin, 3 going to DFW. That's 13 of your top kids in the state that, let's say, if the Norman All-Stars is not going to be privy to even getting. So that means they have to go and get the best of the rest. So that's what I mean. So our best of the rest is better than most other states' best of the rest. So I wasn't surprised at all when I saw Fam Elite play at the Spring Icebreaker back in mid-March in the tournament division. Guys were coming up to me, man, why Fam Elite playing in the tournament division? Why they don't just play showcase game? I say, because Fam Elite, first of all, the showcase division has a $1,000 donation to the winner. They can get more games. They can get 6 games for the same dollar. Bang for your buck. And they can get more, they can feed more mouths. There's more minutes of opportunity for certain players to play, and you can get to see a whole lot in a 6-game sample size. That's what they did. And they made it to the championship, played against the BNX Ballers, and Fam Elite prevailed, won 6 straight games. I saw that team at that time, and I said, oh man, I can't wait to see how they fare in the Puma because they're going to win place a show. And I told guys that. I don't even know what's out there, but I know what can't be out there. If you look along the ESPN Top 100 rankings, how many of those guys are playing in that Puma 17U? I don't know. One of you guys can let me know. But I would say the over and under would be probably 5. So that means the level. I'm looking at this team, and I'm like, they're gonna be out. They're gonna be okay if they stay together, and the parents buy in, and realize you got to get it out the mud. You got to keep winning. It's almost like living black. You got to do 3 times, 10 times as much just to be considered even in some people's eyes. We'll talk, of course, to Say-Pay at the top of the hour. I said we was going to rap about these Olympics from yesterday. Man, I actually, like I said earlier, I did not see the game, the basketball game, because we were running this event. However, I did see the gymnastics with Simone. I watched her. I had a meeting yesterday evening. Had to go and meet one of the high school coaches at his crib. His wife had the gymnastics on. She was glued to the TV, and it was a great setting. Young girl, I was calling myself rooting for her. We in the middle of the meeting, I'm watching the TV. Great showing for her. She's definitely one of these storylines of these Olympics for this year. And she qualified for the finals in like 3 or 4 of the events, so she has a chance to win a few more medals. As it stands, of course, the medal count right now, USA and France are tied with 14 medals. I'm looking at the medal count. 14 medals. France has 4 golds. USA 3 golds. Both have 7 silvers, and it's swapped with 3 and 4 bronze respectively. However, Japan, South Korea, and China has the most golds right now. But 14 and 14 France. Shout out to France. Their home turf is representing early on. I'm looking at all through the results, and I'm also trying to pull up the men's basketball results from yesterday, which I have it right here. And 110-84 was the final. That's Nikola Jokic and his Serbian national team fell short by 26 points to USA. The Joker finished with 20 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals. He was only 1 for 6 from 3-point land, and he's definitely the nucleus of that team. USA, of course, you guys know it by now. LeBron James, 21 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Although he did have 6 turnovers. On 9 for 13 shooting in 27 minutes. Kevin Durant came off the bench to produce 17 minutes, 8 of 9 field goals, 5 for 5 3-pointers, 23 points in 17 minutes. He only missed 1 shot. A phenomenal opening showing. Also, there were 6 players in double digits for the American team. Drew Holiday had 15 points on 6 for 8 shooting. Devin Booker had 12 points, 5 assists on 4 for 6 shooting. Steph Curry had 11 points on 4 for 8 shooting. Ant-Man had 11 points on 4 for 6 shooting. And as a team, they were 18 for 32 from 3-point line. I'm thinking that, man, they were 6 for 10 from the free throw line. So USA was 56% from 3 and 60% from the free throw line. They held an advantage of +7 in rebounds, and a great win. I think a lot of people. Hey, what's going on in Nissaville? I see you on there, and a lot of people sent me the memes. The internet was going bunkers on Jason Tatum not playing. Man, I'm talking about the internet. I mean, internet undefeated, man. They would. I mean, it's now it's created a distraction. And at every turn, there's going to be those will be looking to create distractions from the media side of the fence. And now, Coach Kerr is probably going to be forced into having multiple eyes upon him on his rotation pattern or his playing roster selections for the upcoming 2 games. At least. The upcoming 2 games. I say 1 game is going to, of course, Tatum is going to play next game. He's already said that. That's a no-brainer. My thing was Tatum not playing. And guess what? They pros. He's coach. I'm not. You know, he's a Hall of Fame. But I'm wondering, like, damn. I mean, you won by 26 points. USA outscored Serbia by 7 in the 4th quarter. So that means you were up 19 going into the 4th quarter. You outscored them by 10 in the 3rd quarter. So that means you were up 9 at halftime. So at the end of the 3rd quarter, or somewhere in the midst of the 3rd quarter, when you were climbing from +9 to +19, you couldn't find minutes for him then? You really couldn't find minutes for him then? One thing about USA basketball, they pick the players whom they know to fill certain slots. And that's why it was so easy for them to go and get a Derek White. Because a guy like Derek White, he was just happy to be there. Derek White wasn't worried about if he didn't play 1 minute. He was happy to be there. Just, I'm on call. Whenever you call my number, I'm ready. Hell, he logged 16 minutes yesterday. He did have 2 steals. He lost 16 minutes. So it becomes a kind of a slap in the face, in my opinion. You got the most valuable player on your team, right? I'm sorry, not on your team, from a team, which is the Boston Celtics, and he's not playing, but the guy that's not even the first, second, or third option on that particular team is going to log 16 minutes, and this other person, which is Tatum, is fully healthy and had not agreed, and it's been predetermined that he would log a DNP. Just don't sit well. That could mess up the chemistry. That can mess up the locker room. Now you have to spend another whole game to get this Tatum back on board mentally. To prove. That's why I said it's going to take another game after that. But it's also going to come at the sacrifice of somebody else's minutes. Who's going to be the next guy? Who's going to be the next guy? Who's going to be next? And then that's what's going to happen. It's going to be another distraction. Everybody doesn't have the poise, the self-constraint, the self-verbal constraint that Jason Tatum may have. What if Joel Embiid get benched next game? What do you think would happen when they put the microphones in his face and he gets to talking? They ask him, why didn't you play? You think he's going to turn the other cheek? You know? And so Darius Moody says he's just looking for the rematch of USA versus South Sudan on Wednesday. South Sudan beat Puerto Rico on yesterday 90-79. South Sudan is one of the darlings of this year's Olympics. South Sudan is like that independent team that could whoop a sneaker team. And nobody really paid attention to them, but they are now. I'm looking at the box score from their game versus Puerto Rico. And this Puerto Rico team, pretty seasoned. But they got double digits put on them. In all fairness, Puerto Rico was whooping them in the first half. And South Sudan had a second half surge where they outscored Puerto Rico by 8 in the third quarter, by 9 in the fourth quarter, which won by 11. But definitely all eyes will be on that. USA won by 1 point before. That's with no Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant forces a different type of defensive preparation. Kevin Durant, just his presence, knowing that he's playing, is a problem. You have to erase everything from the chalkboard. I guess, and it was done by design probably. with USA basketball. Now, you only have one sample size of watching KD with this team to prepare to scout. Other guys, you can scout 5 different games, maybe 6 games. And you can tell some things, how they coexisted on the court with each other. The substitute patterns, how they doing it, it's different stuff. Well, USA basketball now has presented an additional major problem for other teams. And the thing about this South Sudan is that USA has an incentive to prove something. I don't think this game is going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close. You notice how they beat Serbia, and it's just been silent under the wraps. People made you think that USA just beat Korea or somebody. They beat Serbia by 26 points, man. The competition that we're supposed to have in order to win in this Olympics is supposed to be Serbia, Canada. Those are the teams they say to look out for. Serbia, Canada. I mean, then you got a second layer, you know, those what, Spain, you know, come on, man. The show starts Wednesday for USA basketball. The show starts Wednesday. That's date night too. I'm going to see if I'm going to pull a rabbit out of my hat. I'm saying to take my iPad on date night or something, because I ain't gonna miss that one. Somebody asked a question. Big Coach says, how do you play 12 guys in a 40-minute setting? And remember, White is in this team for his defensive purposes. You coaches can answer that. Answer that. And meanwhile, share the show. Let's get this thing started. I'm going to put your comments on the screen and your response to his question. He's asking you guys, how do you play 12 guys in a 40-minute setting? And remember, White is on this team for his defensive purposes. Because I got an answer. And I done gave you part of the answer earlier. He asking you guys. Right? And I'm waiting. I'm waiting on you. Oh, thank you. Herb Baker said the game Wednesday's going to be in the day, so it shouldn't affect date night. That's good. That's good. Now, meanwhile, what we going to do, we got the question. The question is out there. How do you play 12 guys in a 40-minute setting, right? And remember, White is there for defensive purpose. That's what Big Coach said. So, Big Coach, one person that we're going to get to answer your question right off the rip, right? There you go, right there. Right there. Right there. You got Robert Earl Haller.
What's up, baby?
Now, hey, you right on time.
Live from the Bernardine Golf Tournament. I got Coach Johnny Jones with me. I got Eric Boone with me. I got Gary Carter filming everything with me. He over here right there.
There you go.
Ron Lacewell out here with me. I got Robert Young and Rosie Young with me. And we getting it in. Now tell me what y'all need me to clarify. Because somebody told me, man, you need to call into the show. What's going on, Jimmy? What they doing to you?
Big Coach asked the question. He says, it sounds like in defense of Coach Kerr. He say, how do you expect a person to play 12 guys in a 40-minute game? So we just stop right there. You call right on time. You can answer that before that's light work.
No, you know what? I understand. I understand. Okay, let's Robert Young right there. Okay.
What's going on, Robert Young?
sometimes, hey,
hey,
I
I
didn't
didn't
see
see
where I
where
would
I
have
would have
played
played
Jason
Jason
Tatum
Tatum
either.
either. Okay.
I'd have
I
set
done
his
said this
motherfucking ass right.
right.
See,
See,
excuse me,
excuse
y'all.
me, y'all.
When
When
y'all gotta
y'all gotta
understand,
understand,
when you
when you
playing
playing
these
these
type of
type of
games,
games,
and
and
see,
see,
most of
most of
y'all
y'all
so
so
used to the
used to the
AAU
AAU
culture.
culture.
My
My
baby
baby
didn't
didn't
play.
play.
Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
If
If
y'all was
y'all was
Halliburton
Halliburton
and
and
Jason
Jason
Tatum,
Tatum,
y'all
y'all
ready to
ready to
pack up
pack up
y'all shit
y'all
and
shit and
leave.
leave.
That
That
happens.
happens.
It
It
happens
happens
when you
when you
playing
playing
against as
against
a
as a
team.
team.
Jason
Jason
Tatum is
Tatum
one
is
of the
one of
best
the best
players in the
players in the
world.
world.
That
That
man
man
didn't
didn't
slight
slight
him.
him.
They
They
won the
won the
game.
game.
Derek
Derek
White
White
came
came
in and
in and
got 2
got 2
steals and
steals
a
and a
deflection.
deflection.
How in the
How in the
hell
hell
Jason
Jason
Tate,
Tate,
what's his
what's his
name?
name?
Kevin
Kevin
Durant
Durant
came out
came
the
out the
bench,
bench,
didn't miss
didn't
a
miss a
shot.
shot.
Booker
Booker
come out
come
there
out there
and was
and was
killing.
killing.
Wasn't
Wasn't
nowhere for
nowhere
his
for his
ass to
ass to
play.
play.
So,
So
y'all, it
y'all,
ain't
it
but
ain't but
40
40
minutes.
minutes.
Y'all don't
Y'all don't
understand them
understand them
extra
extra
8
8
minutes
minutes.
is
It's
very
very
important.
important.
So
So
I mean, I'm not
I'm not
upset
upset
about it.
about it.
I don't
I
see
don't
why
see why
people up
people
in
up in
arms
arms
about it.
about it.
I mean, I
I mean,
just
I
don't
just don't
understand.
understand.
Maybe
Maybe y'all can
enlighten me.
me. Well, the thing is, USA won this game by 26 points. They were up by 19 at the end of the third quarter. So somewhere at the end, meaning in the closing moments of the third quarter, either you were up by maybe 21 or you were up by maybe 15. So that was a point you didn't even need Derek White's defense anymore. You didn't need anybody else's defense anymore. You just needed somebody to come out there and close on out. And at the same time, if for a moment, where did Jason Tatum prove to anyone that he was not that he can't not play defense? And that's the question. When and where was that established? Jason Tatum is not known as a non-defensive player. So it's one of those things, as I said, all eyes would be on Steve Kerr and his decision making over the next 2 games, not just this next game against South Sudan. So the rest of the week, we'll be able to tell. Now,
Jim. So you saying they don't need his hey, let me tell you something.
now I said at the third quarter, with about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, USA was up double digits, 15 points or so. So at that point, in the closing,
hold up. And Joker them came right back and cut that thing down to 7-5. They came right back, Jimmy. They cut it right back down.
and cut it to
Kerr
what?
called a timeout.
And they cut it to what?
They cut it back down to 7 or something like that.
No.
Hey,
In
man,
the closing, the
y'all cry about him putting.
USA led by
I think y'all
19.
still crying.
So Robert Allen,
The man
USA led.
You want him to play him then? You want him to come in the game then?
No. I'm taking you back to give you some clarification. They led by 19 points at the end of the third quarter. So my point is, you mean to tell me you couldn't start the fourth quarter with Jason Tatum on the court up by a plus 19? You feel that
He ain't played. So you won't hold up. But they ain't played the whole game, and you want to put him in the game.
And yeah. Now the thing is, I'm just being modest. A lot of guys in the NBA understand it's almost a level of disrespect to some people in a code of conduct or the code of coaching that is at that level. From what I understand is that you don't even dare try to put no guy in the game. It ain't like grassroots basketball. This ain't a money kid. You don't dare try to put the guy in the game if you ain't played him in the core of the game. That's almost making him. That's almost making him feel like he like a walk on or something like that.
Coach, go get my ball for me, Coach. Just go get. Y'all let Coach see that ball right quick before y'all touch it. Y'all, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I just hit one about 1 foot.
Man, that ball in the
Coach Smith.
That ball in the tree.
Let me let my people see. Huh?
That ball in the trees.
All these man, trees. Oh my God. That's the first time I've been to a golf course since I've been gone. Jimmy, it's a tree fell through the whole ceiling of the house. Right here on the golf course. Hold up, y'all. Let me show you. I hope y'all can see that. That's what's going on out here. John Jones, you saw that? Okay. I just want to John Jones he don't understand. This how Robert had to do this thing out here.
That's about what it is, about the fifth. That's the fifth putt attempt y'all about to do on that one ball, huh?
No, that ain't no good putt. You sound like Johnny Jones, man. Hey, y'all, he must be from the north side. But no, Jimmy, I swear, I didn't have, because I know that. I remember you used to get on and be mad about what's one name? Draymond Green. Talking about he was playing garbage men. And him and Harrison Barnes playing. But that's why I never followed that thing, because in international play and FIBA rules, it's hard to play 12 guys. Somebody got to sit out. If he didn't sit out and it was out, y'all would have got y'all would have boycotted.
So why didn't see Joel? So why didn't sit Joel Embiid out?
Now I already said he shouldn't have been on the team.
So no, but you said he wasn't gonna play. So I got right on that one. You said he wasn't gonna play. I told you, Joel. You did. You
came on the show, and Jim, you ain't been here. I came on the show because everybody still saying he shouldn't play.
Ain't nobody shouldn't play. You said he wasn't gonna play. I told you he was. You say he ain't gonna touch the court for USA basketball.
He playing now? Wait a minute. Is he really playing?
Yeah, he touched the court.
Since you won't get to run your mouth, is he playing or just on the team?
He touched the court. He's starting.
That man walk out the hotel, them people said, give me my passport back. We won't even want you on the goddamn Cameroon team. Let me tell you something. And you talk about Jim, ain't no way in the world I'd let that man play. If I was Daryl Morey, I wouldn't let him play. He ain't trying to play. He out there messing around and messing his team off. Man, he's selfish to me. I think he's selfish.
Let me tell you something.
I think he's selfish.
Joel Embiid only played about 14 minutes yesterday, maybe 11 or 14.
That's 14 minutes.
Let me tell you something. It ain't nothing that Joel Embiid could do to mess this team off at this point. Now that KD is back, so they know you can start all you want to. You ain't gonna finish.
So he still can't play. He can't play. I love it. I just said, I told you he's not going to play because I didn't, me personally, I didn't think Daryl Morey was going to let him play.
That dude, that dude obviously wants a gold medal.
He got more clout than I thought he had. But if he really wanted to play, Jimmy, why didn't he go play for Cameroon?
He wanted I just said, he want a medal that bad. That's what he wants.
Coach, so he ain't really going. So
he wants a medal.
He getting a coach. He getting a coach. He ain't earning that medal. Man, y'all see these trees, man. Huh?
He's starting for him.
You know what I love?
And we got in 6 minutes. We're gonna be joined live by I don't know if you know it, but Fam Elite won the Puma championships yesterday in the 17 and under division, and
well, let me get on. I want to listen to that.
Fam Elite. We got Say Pay is coming on and joining us live, and that family. Remember now, Nneka Uwikmake, she actually got Adidas to sponsor some of their. I think the girls' side or whatnot. We'll find out from And then also his brother Lawrence Pay is coaching the Cougars with the TBT in the TBT tournament, which the quarterfinals is Tuesday. They're in only 8 teams left. We're gonna talk about that shortly with Say Pay. Say Pay, you guys. You may remember a while back. I think straight Jesuit, and him in that Houston Heat program. It's going to be a great conversation. I'm thinking you guys need to strap up and be ready for this conversation with Say Pay. And now that the season, or I say the summer circuit is over with, I really, really am anxious to conversate with this young man. And it's going to take place within 10 minutes. We need you guys to share the show with me as well, so we can get this thing popping. That way, if you have questions for Say, you can queue them up, and we will put them on the screen as he's talking at some point during the next hour. So we got 60 minutes of Say Pay. And so I'm looking right now. Chad Bewell says Tatum will play more, but Halliburton won't play much at the Olympics, but he will play the next go around the Olympics. Well, if you're not a good camper, and depending on the way that you receive not playing, Chad, they're not going to bring you back unless you're exerting positive energy, unless you're exerting the type of energy that you really want to be there. Like a guy like Anthony Edwards, remember, he went from starting earlier, came off the bench in the first Olympic game, he only played about 14 minutes or so, or 15 minutes or something like that. But his energy on the bench, his energy was contagious. So that was kind of cool as well. We'll see. Like I said, it's a lot of games, few games left. We'll see how this goes. The thing is, but if this is going to be the undercurrent, the thing is, some people made other people believe that at some point in time this year, and understand it, it's not guys like Anthony Edwards' fault, but they made some people believe that. Remember, it was just 3 months ago, 4 months, three months ago, and they were saying that Anthony Edwards was better than Kevin Durant. He's better than LeBron James. He's the face of the league now, and maybe it was a bit premature. And I said, soon as, man, just wait. If you can just be a little bit more patient, then kids would go, and the people would be able to earn some things that they need to earn. We're so quick to give people things before they earn it. And that's the thing. Made Halliburton, people believe that Halliburton was the equal to or greater than. Joel Embiid, he won an MVP, became runner-up in the next year, made Joel Embiid think that he was this. And guess what? You get here on this team, and that's what I tell people all the time. Think of the USA basketball team as a select team as you do these 17 under, 16 under teams. Just think about it like this, though. What if there were only one team, and once upon a time, in Houston, right? In Greater Houston. And once upon a time, there was a mechanism in place where there was a league that yielded one team of the top players from that league, and they went and represented Houston at the BCI Nationals. A guy named Jay Parker was the face of that league. Jack Thompson was a part of that league. Ray Marshall, I think John Lucas even helped out a little. He was playing with the Rockets at the time, and helped out. Put his fingerprints on that league. That league was designed. The top players from the city got invites to play in the league. They played in the league. The top 10 were called the Houston Gold. The next 10 were the Houston Silver, and the next 10 were called the Houston Bronze. The gold team is the team that got to go and travel to Phoenix for the BCI Nationals. And in that thing, you had to play everybody, but those were the top players. Those were the top players. But we're more about that later on time, right on cue. It is time to bring in you guys. I told you guys this past weekend, we had the Puma championships that took place, and one of the teams was the Fam Elite, and this Fam Elite team went down there. Not only did they go there, they took care of business and won first place in that event. And in convincing fashion. They didn't just nip it. They won in first place by double digits. 82-66 over the pro level Titans. And without further ado, we have with you guys the founder, the coach of the Fam Elite, Say Pay, P-A-Y-E. We're going to ask you guys to share the show at this time and we're going to bring Say Where did he go? There you go, right there. We're gonna bring Say Pay in right now, and we're gonna give him a round of applause. There you go, Say Pay. Say Pay guy, he's shooting booty. Look, you got your stuff on and everything. Look at you. Oh, you representing, boy. They go. Hey, screenshot that right now with your camera and send it to the tag Puma and say I'm representing. That's on. Now use that for contract negotiations, so you can add another comma or add another zero to the check next time. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out to get this stuff. Hey man, congratulations. Say Pay, man. What a journey. What a summer, man. Can you just reflect back on it in one sentence? Describe the feeling that you have right now.
We feel pretty good. Done yet what we need to do, and I don't mean to go back to what you said earlier. I'm one of the co-founders, me and Justin Jack. So it's not just me.
Okay. Let's give.
Fam. But we felt good. I mean, we had a vision back in September, October of what we could accomplish on the NXT circuit. And as you know, obviously you have to have kids who are good enough. You have to have talent, or it doesn't matter what you draw or what you do. And we just got lucky to have 8 kids who are pretty talented, and we're able to help accomplish our goals.
Now, how is this team constructed? You know, and first of all, a lot of people may not be keen to grassroots basketball. Just take us back to when did this start? I think last year. When did it start? How was it constructed? Did any of these players carry over from the summer before? Who got dropped? Who got added to the mix? Let's take us through the story. How, what was the core?
Gotcha. So there's one player that we've had for the past 3 years that actually ended up staying, which was James Fenner. He's been with us since his freshman year out of Pasadena. We had another kid who ended up staying, Isaac Vedra, and then everybody else was new. I mean, we went out recruiting. We driven to Louisiana. We've driven to getting Texas. We've driven to all these places to try to get talent, try to help our program get to where we need to get to. So Dylan Thompson came. We had Elijah Black in low, and crazy low. I've been knowing low. Shoot, basically my whole basketball life I played against him when he had Houston Chiefs back that day. Brandon Webb from Klein Oak. Chase Anderson, Matthew Johnson. We just had my vision per se is, as you know me, I'm a shooter. So I like constructing our team based on if you can make a shot. Obviously, you have to have players, you have to have guards. Very strong guard play. The makeup of the group, it all just happened organically, honestly. We dropped some guys that come back, guys put along the way. But the guys that stuck it out and did what we needed to do. Those guys, the makeup, it was just incredible. So, I mean, it was a complete team effort from a recruiting standpoint. Even Fenner helped recruit Ian at the time. We were getting Fenner to Uber to the Barry Center from the Pasadena so we could watch Ian in the playoff game. And then I took him back come back home to Cypress. So I mean, it was a family effort. Like when we say family, it's literally a family. Like everything we do is a collective unit, and we just want to see everybody succeed.
And I mean, this was a fitting. Of course, you just tuned in. We have Say Pay. He's the coach of the Fam Elite, and they are the champions of the Pro 16, the Puma sponsored Pro 16 summer championships. And tell us about this past weekend. Where did it take place at? And who were the team that you beat en route to winning this championship?
It took place in Lincoln, Nebraska. We had to play six games. We played Limitless, Elite, like you said, we played Pro Level Elite Championship. We played Our Barstool. We played TP Tall Black. A very, very good team out of Arkansas. We played those guys, and the kid dropped 37 on us. He's probably the best kid I think we played not just this summer, but like the past 2 years. I don't think we played a kid like this before. He was pretty good. I mean, we threw everything at him. And this is a kid who did not play. This is his first time playing AAU basketball. He's a football player, quit football, focused on basketball just this summer. And he actually tried out for a pro level, pro 16 team in Arkansas. And they told him that you're not going to play, or you're going to be the 8th or 9th man on the bench. So you should probably go somewhere else to get some playing time. So that was a very interesting game. We ended up beating them. We played a team called 816. It was pretty good. But I don't think for us, we been through a lot this spring summer, whether that's training camp in San Antonio, waking up at 4:30 a.m., working out, running, whether that's playing the pro 16 level teams that we beat and got beaten by, that even the game before the championship, we're down 9 in the second half, nobody panicked. It was just, hey, we've been here before. We've played some pretty good teams that have prepared us for this moment, so let's just go ahead and get it done. And that's what they did.
So what we're gonna do is now, a lot of the viewers just informed me that you've started to echo. So what we're gonna get you to do, first level of defense on this, we'll try to get you, Mr. Barnes, he's definitely keen with this. He asked if you can, let's try this first. Turn the volume down on your device. And let's see if that is the solution. Turn the volume down on your device.
Okay.
Right?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Cause I can turn you up on this end. You see?
Okay.
So now you guys will let us know if that is a solution. So and it'll come. It's a delay. So they'll get it in a few seconds. You'll be able to know. And we'll wait for it to start back. Meanwhile, that way they don't miss anything. And say, I mean, we're talking about the team. If you guys, the family and the makeup of this team. And of course, we're gonna get you to just tell them what high school you went to, what year you came out, where you played college basketball, and that way now they'll hear you talk to know if the problem been solved or not. Because me talking, they're not gonna know.
I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So my name is Dave. Class of 2007, a long time ago. Played at Straight Jizzle High School. Played for Houston Heat, AAU team. That was coached by Jim Lunch and Willie Patrick. Played at UTSA. Actually, went to Monroe. Initially out of high school, and then ended up transferring to UTSA. And played a little bit of 11 on the guitar, but outside of that, that's kind of my story from basketball standpoint.
It says still an echo.
Still echo.
Okay, so now, hold on. Echo cancellation. Now, here's what we can do. Meanwhile, here's what we can do. What we'll do is, Gary says, tell you to turn down the show in the background.
The show in the background for me? Hold on.
There we go. I understand one thing about the Chop Shop and the viewers. They know they done been through this, especially with Haller. They've all been through these situations time and time again. They know the solutions. Now, you did that? Now let's see now. We're gonna see. Keep talking. Say what you said again. Tell them your name and your high school again.
Say class of 2007 out of Straight Jizzle High School. Played for Houston Heat, AAU program. Played at Louisiana Monroe, and transferred to UTSA, and then played a little bit of abroad and nothing on the guitar.
All right, now we're waiting. Somebody says you okay, and somebody says still an echo. Jared Marie, good gracious. Is that the kid from Chavez High School, Jared Marie? Did you play against him?
Jared Marie from Chavez High School. That is him.
You whooped him, didn't you? They whooped y'all. They whooped y'all, didn't you? They whooped y'all, didn't you? He was young boy.
No, I graduated. I was not there.
Okay. I'll make sure. They were some bad boys when he was there. They were some bad boys. It says still an echo. So here's what we're gonna do. Last thing, it said, do you have your speakers? If you could turn your speakers down. maybe that could be. I know you probably got multiple devices on, and what happened is one of those devices is feeding into the other one, into the main one. And when we have time, we want to make sure it's right and everybody can understand. If not, and meanwhile, what we'll do is we'll get you to go out, and we'll get you to go out and come back in, and that's what we'll do. That way now you do that, and that way now you can fix it, because one of those, understand, that's one device that's feeding into another device, and the speakers, and it's causing the reverb for us. And everybody want to hear this conversation. I got some good stuff to ask you. I'm talking about oh man, we're gonna have some fun in these next few minutes. But anyway, we're gonna let you bounce out and come back in. All right?
Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, of course, that's Say Pay, and we are going. We're waiting on him to come back in. And once again, get your questions ready. This is a team that understand, it's something that's special. Another thing that's special about this team, not just on the court, but off the court. And I've seen teams like this, and I tell people all the time, when I'm watching basketball games, it don't take me long to identify a qualifier, a possible qualifier from a non-qualifier. I could tell. People that sit and watch basketball with me, they know. I bet like about 900 on identifying qualifiers from non-qualified, just by watching some of the things they do in the course of a basketball game. It transfers so far easily to the academic. You can tell. In other words, you have to understand what I'm saying? You can tell who's dumb and who ain't dumb. You can tell who has the means to go beyond basketball and make it in life without question. Who has the means to sit there and interpret and solve stuff. Everybody ain't a good problem solver. Meanwhile, we got Say right back. Let's see. Let's see, we get him back up in here. I think I'm getting him up in there. What happened? Oh, Say muted. Oh, we'll get him back when he come back, and I can't see him now. We'll see. We'll see when he comes back up in there. Hold on, let's get that off of there. That's the wrong thing. Now. And yeah, I'm waiting on Say to come on back. He's gonna come and join us in just a second. He was doing something. It looked like I can't see his face. I can't see your face, Say. So now, this team, what I was getting at about the academic component, they only played like 8 players on yesterday. Out of those 8 players, like 7 of them has at least a 3.4 GPA, right? At least 7 of those. And there we go. Say, now we got you in there. Now, can you hear us?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Now the question is, are you echoing through them or not? We're gonna be able to tell that very shortly. Hold on, what you just do? We can't see your face now, Say. You want? There you go. There you go. Now we can hear you already. Can you hear us?
Okay, perfect.
Good. Now, what's going on? Slim McDaniel, Rosewood in the house. That's right. Sam Houston, Klein Forrest in the house, and Eisenhower. You all those representing Ben McDaniel. But anyway, we have Say Pay live with us, guys, on the Chop Shop. He's with Fam Elite Youth Basketball Program. You guys, we were talking, want to make sure that the echo is going. Let somebody know. Say you went to Straight Jesuit, came out in 2007. You mentioned you went to, first you went to Louisiana Lafayette, then transferred to Louisiana Monroe, then went to UTSA, played overseas for a couple of years, and then came on back and been giving back to the community ever since. The process of college, in 2007, you graduated. Many people remember your grassroots coach, Willie Patrick. They know him as Pokey. He was the former coach of Wheatley High School, won a state championship at St. Pius High School. He went to state with Wheatley, I think twice, didn't win it. Now he's the girls basketball head coach at Bel Air High School. Coach Patrick had you guys, that team, that particular summer of 2006, I mean you graduated in 2007, were the Houston Heat. That team was a kind of similar makeup of this team. This is how kind of I saw and I knew this team was in great hands. Once you guys played, you opened the season at the Spring Icebreaker. And I could tell, we tell by watching one or two games, you know, Doug Jones looking and say, well, that's Doug, who you think gonna make it to the championship? He said, oh, you know, Family or this team or this team. We named two or three teams. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, Family, I said, well, BNX gonna make it to the championship too. I think they gonna a little bit too strong for a lot of those guys. But then you guys met in the championship, you knocked off BNX, and one of the reasons, and I told Doug that you guys won that game, was because it came down to a time to think, and your team was way smarter than those guys that were just talented or gifted or more athletic or could jump higher. And I'm looking at, and I go back to this Houston Heat team. Can you explain and go back to that team, how good that team was? And that team, like I said, you can call some of your names your brethren from that team, just how good you were back then. And you had no sneaker sponsorship.
Correct.
Come on with it.
Devin Gibson. I mean, we've known each other since the sandbox. Baby, lived in the same neighborhood. Kid, both moved to the same neighborhoods. When we got a little older, we're supposed to go to the same high school, the same middle school. I mean, to me, to this day, Devin was the best point guard in 2007. And then besides Devin, you got Romeo Garcia, you got Josh Johnson, you got Luke Carrera, Stedman Coleman, Julian O'Lee, Jackson Jr., Brian Howard, perhaps I still remember, but pretty much everybody went to play college basketball except Stedman Coleman who played football, I believe. But I mean, outside that team, that makeup, we were together for so long, and I think going in battle with each other and getting whooped by 30 or 40 points to a team from Dallas, I forgot their name. I remember they beat us by about 40. We probably scored 12 points in the game. It was probably like, I don't know, 5, whatever the grade was. And I remember Coach Clark saying, hey, you guys don't worry about it. This is why we're here. You guys got to see y'all beat them. Now somebody nowadays in there, you beat 30 or 40, pretty much with your team. So the makeup back then, my parents and all the parents in that Heat team, they didn't believe in quitting. They believe in finishing what you start and good enough to find you. And sure enough, 2 years later, we played that same team that was laughing and beat us by 40, beat them by 12, 10, 12 points. And I think just that adversity that we faced growing up helped us to really accomplish special things when we got to high school. That specific 2006 summer, we probably lost 3 or 4 games. I mean, it was winning games. Just everybody was just a winner, and they were whatever it took to win.
Now, hold on 1 second. Say we're still having audio situations, and I'm gonna try it on my side. And meanwhile, somebody asked if you could turn your mic off on your computer since you're using your earpiece. So is your mic on your computer?
No, I'm on my iPhone.
Okay. And so I'm checking on my side. And
well, let me take out this.
I'm trying to see if I can. I got the mic, and this is the first time that I've been unable to solve an issue like this, and and I'm looking right now. Meanwhile, you can keep talking, and they can tell if it's solved. You can keep saying something.
Oh yeah, but no, that Houston team was just
So
phenomenal.
now that Houston Heat team, you mentioned everybody played college basketball except for one person. How many of those Houston Heat players played Division I basketball out of high school?
Me, Devin, Julian, Josh Johnson. Romeo Garcia, 5. There was at least 5 that went D1 out of high school. Romeo was Navy, Josh Johnson was Nichols, Julian was Northern Arizona, Devin was obviously UTSA, I was MCO.
And it was 5 Division I. How many of them thought they was going Division I other than those 5 on that team?
I don't want to misspeak for anybody, but I think the first ones were me and Devin. But but that's the thing. Everybody believed they could play. So I can't sit here and say that they didn't think they played D1. I can't answer that question.
Yeah. Now, if your family team versus the Houston Heat team of 2006, who wins?
Houston Heat go detail.
Is it close?
It's pretty close. These guys are tough. It's pretty close.
Why would you say that your Houston Heat would beat this family team? This family team is pretty good. I like this team.
Honestly, because the kids can't beat me now. They can't beat me now. I probably can't beat me whenever I was actually good back then.
You said what now?
I said because our family kids, they can't beat me now. So if they can't beat me now, I'm old, they can't move, they couldn't beat me whenever I could actually play.
Wow. Well, so on this family, we come back, we want to check something. Somebody's asking, like Jerry Marie has a question for you, and he says, and you see it on the screen. He said, do you have more?
Tell him.
Okay. Now that answers your question, Jerry Marie. So it's something, I've cut your volume down on my end. Excuse me. I've cut the webcam down on my end. I've turned everything down, and I'm trying to see.
I wonder if I can. Maybe I can get off my Wi-Fi. Let me try that.
It's possible. You can come on back in. We can that way. We want to have a good, fluid conversation where people can be able to interact with you, and we can be able to highlight these young men. There are college coaches I know that's watching this show today, and that way now they can learn more intel about your team, and with the possibility of pursuing or proceeding with their efforts of recruitment of these young players.
Sure.
So this is one of the primary things, reasons for this conversation, and I'm just doing my part, and more is going to be done to help that. I love winning. I love winners, but the thing is, a lot of people that win, they want you to love them at every turn of winning. No, some wins I expect you to win. So you want me to give you a cookie for making your bed? You're supposed to make your bed. You're supposed to go and wash and clean up your dishes or put your clothes in the dirty. You're supposed to win at that every day. So, but meanwhile, we're getting this conversation about the family in just a second. You say you're going out and coming back in, or what? Or you got
going out and coming back in.
Oh, let's try this thing one more time when we have say pay. And I'm sorry, guys. We're just trying to get this thing right. It's better to get it right, and we got delays. And then when you get ready to share the show, you just crop this part and start from here, and you can still send just the part that you want to hear or want somebody else to hear, and accordingly. Also, we And they just showed on the ticker, Steve Kerr says Jason Tatum will play Wednesday. I told you the distraction, he has to play him now. He has to play him whether he want to or not. And the thing is, and they're going to probably run some plays for him. They're going to be able to make, you got to have him happy. You already had Boston Celtics with, conspiring against you from the get-go because there was no Jaylen Brown. But, and it's going to happen. But anyway, we're waiting on Pay to come on back in, and we hopefully, we got our fingers crossed that this thing here will get it right. Curtis George asked the question, this team 16 year or 17 year? It's a 17-year under team, Curtis George. It's they're all rising seniors. So they'll be seniors when this term starts. These are players, a collection of players who were stars at their high schools. And this collection of players just got to realize, like I say, the family won the spring icebreaker. Sure, it wasn't a whole lot of sneaker teams playing in the icebreaker, but there was enough talent to let you see how they won, that they had enough. You had guard play. You had very good guard play. You had interchangeable players. And that even at that time, they did not even have, I don't think they even had a Dylan Thompson with them when they won the spring icebreaker. Dylan Thompson is the son of Tina Thompson, former Houston Coming Hall of Fame, WNBA Hall of Famer. He's going on to Georgia Tech. And he played a couple of good months with this family team and gave them a help to provide a new identity. But they were interchangeable guys. When you see, meaning that you had a whole bunch of guys that could that can play multiple positions. It wasn't like when one guy come out, it had to be one guy to take his spot. There could be one guy that could took 2 or 3 other guys' spots. When I see that with teams, then those are good signs. Also, I mentioned to you guys a while ago about the education component. 7 of the 8 guys that played had a 3.3 GPA or higher out of a 4.0 scale. When you got a collection of smart guys, it means something. They already can have a chance. Think of when you play, you guys know what I'm talking about. Every city has one. Has it? In Houston, you think about certain schools you can play against, and you like, man, them dudes, they play. Man, you got to watch them guys. They gonna whip it around. They gonna, especially with no shot clock, they gonna play smart. And really, it's cold. For a lot of times, black, you're saying you're playing against a bunch of white boys. That's basically what a code is. And you use those terms, man. Those guys, man, they gonna spread it out, And here we go with Pay now. Now we know this gonna work right here, don't we, Say? We know this gonna work right here. Where that trophy at? You got the trophy in the car. You took a picture with the trophy at. Where the trophy at? Where the trophy? It ain't back there with you. It ain't riding with you. You ain't got a seatbelt in. Let me put your volume up on it. I think I can bring your volume up now. Let me see. I can bring your volume up. I can bring your volume up now. Let's see. Now we should be good to go now, guys. Yes, Tamika say yes. We good to go now. Hey, you know what happened? You got all them tricky devices at your house now, and that's what's going on. Now we good to go. Now, Pay, we were talking about the academic makeup of this team. Out of the 8 players that played yesterday, 7 of them have a 3.3 GPA or higher on a 4.0 scale. Was that purposely done when you identified these players and recruited these players? Or in other words, did you already know or have a hint that they were that seasoned academically or not?
I honestly didn't, but I knew that just knowing a little bit, talking to the parents, a little bit, that they're not going to allow their kids to, or they don't play. Whether that's on the court or off the court. So, I mean, you can kind of tell, but and watching them play and things like that, I knew we had some pretty smart kids. I didn't know they were as like that whenever they were sending me their GPAs and things like that. But at the same time, I wasn't very shocked. I mean, those kids are extremely smart.
Man, so they telling me that my thing is on my. It has to be on my end. They say echoing even in the car. And
I'm still echoing.
No, let me. I'm trying to think of something. This ain't. We go. Let me put on my supreme problem solving skills, so we know it's definitely something over here. And I'm thinking if I have to take my mic off, that could be it. Let's see if it's me. I gotta start from my end. Let's do this. Hear me now?
I can hear you.
It's gonna sound different. Now, you guys can let me know if this solved it. I'm eliminating stuff on my end. So I done cut my microphone off. So now I'm going through this computer microphone. So let's see now. You guys let me know if that's me. And what we do, pay. After I'm troubleshooting some stuff, I only got one other thing to check on this end. So I'm waiting on them. It's a delay to let me know. Okay. They waiting on you to talk because they can hear me still.
Okay.
Now, I need you to say, regarding these players, you mentioned the players on this team, on the roster of the family. You say you did not know that they were that academically keen, but you had a hint by talking to them and whatnot. Now, out of these players, I want to ask you, how many do you project Division I? Because that's one of the things that a lot of people are led to believe. And I'm not really a proponent of that. And I think that mindset has to some point be changed because of the fact of the transfer portal and all of the elements that you're competing against now. You got the NIL stuff. You got all types of things that are in the way. And my ideology is, if you go to a school and you don't play, then you increase the risk or the odds of your NIL the following year being depleted. But if you go anywhere and play, you increase the odds of your NIL bag increasing. So why the hell would a person want to take that type of gamble on their bag, on their brand, and jump out there on faith, the first one, just to prove 5 or 6 people wrong in high school?
No, for sure. I understand it. I hear you.
No, so I'm asking you the question.
No, yes, no. I feel as if we have at least 4 guys that can play at the Division I level out of high school. As you said, I've told all of our parents, and if we have parents that are on the show or not, you can ask the parents everything I tell them from today, what I told them back in January, February. We're all getting messed over by the transfer portal. This is the new age of basketball. If this was 5, 6, 7 years ago, there'd be a lot more guys that are going D1 out of high school. But because of the transfer portal, that's not the case anymore. So that means you have to go JUCO, NAIA, D3, D2, and if D1 is your ultimate goal, then that's what you're going to have to do. It is what it is. For a prime example, a kid like Brody Robinson, who played for me a while back, he really wasn't getting that much traction or buzz. He went to the D1 scene, and then he went to JUCO and blew up. And now he's a bona fide Division I basketball player. So depending on if you're good enough, who you are, if you do want to play on that level, on that stage, you might have to take some back roads to get there. But if you're good enough, they'll find you. But the initial high school D1 might not be there anymore.
And that's so. What is your advice? I mean, do you, of course, at this point, when you are coaching, you led a team to this type of success. The parents, it's refreshing to some parents because along that way, many of those parents probably have been or felt they've been deceived, lied to, bamboozled, been hoodwinked, been scammed, been along the way. And so they finally meet a guy, and it's the end of the road. It's like you wish you could have met you, or been with you 5-6 years ago. But here's the case. So now you are like the Messiah, possibly in a sense to some of these parents now. They're waiting on you because you had to go a similar route. You had to go and play for the independent team that went and kicked a bunch of butt. People had no idea you kicked a whole bunch of butt. And as at every turn, as I said, when you win, I'm going to be there. I went and I watched. You didn't have to go. You didn't have to go to multiple states on every weekend to kick all that butt. But that was competition. Sneaker teams, you played them. And so now, how do you feel that the parent are they willing to receive your advice now, or do you go into the elephant in the room, and that is for every other kid, there's somebody else that's working them out, that's saying to you basically, job well done. All right, thanks coach for your time. We got it from here.
All of our parents, the kids, all 7 of them, they trust us to believe in not just me, but our program and our vision. They take our advice. And even now, even after yesterday, we had a talk on our sports chat with all the parents. And everybody's on the same page. I mean, yeah, we went out great and everything. But as you said, our goal is to get these guys to play college basketball. So they know and trust that we're going to continue to work on our backside and back end to make sure that goal of theirs gets accomplished. So we don't have any. There's no parent on our team or kid that's questioning now what. We got it from here. Bye. It's none of that. This is like I said, this is family for life, and the kids will tell you too. Even I worked out 2 kids this morning. Fresh off the plane last night. In the gym this morning at 6:45. So I mean, it's bigger than basketball. Even when they're done playing, they know that they can call me and figure some things out. I got old players that call me now. To talk and things like that. So, from a parent perspective, man, it's been great. And they've all bought into what we're trying to instill into these kids, trying to help them get to the next level.
And so, what we want to do is, and I'll owe it to you, in that way, in fairness, and is we want to invite you back. That way I know that these difficulties, audio difficulties won't be there, because it's so, like I said, so much I didn't even get into, because we're trying to fight through these echoing situations. So we're going to invite you back on Tuesday or Wednesday. Let us know. That way now your whole basketball family has the opportunity to be present. Watching, can be there and hear this, and they can share with their families, and that way now we can have a better flow of conversation. Otherwise, we're basically cranking up a car with no gas in it, and we ain't going on the gas running out. We going 2 blocks and it's stalling, 2 blocks and it's stalling. Hell, we could have pushed the car and got farther than what we doing right now. So that's what I'm suggesting. Say that way now we don't, because otherwise I'm gonna go into another topic. They can't hear it, and I can save a whole lot of stuff. 80% of the stuff I want to talk about, we ain't even got into it yet. And also we go and we can go deeper into the process of what do we do now, what happens now, what's the timetable now. These are some things for them to think about. The colleges that you thought was recruiting you in July or in June or in April or in May, where's the stance with them now? If it's not Division I, are you really willing to go and be a walk-on? Are you really, really willing? Everybody can't handle riding the bench and they just laughed at Jason Tatum. You went from winning the championship to go and ride the bench. Everybody can't handle that. They think they can. They just want to be. You just want to wear that. So you really to wear somebody's logos or their jerseys just that bad till you would sacrifice the growth in your bag and your brand. Sit there and that's what there's some that are willing to do so, but it ain't for everybody. Cause some people you already know say they can't handle it. They can't get on that court. So they need to find a school and where they know that they think the odds are greater for them to play at, and we'll get you back. Which day is better for you? Tuesday. So Tuesday, guys, say pay. We can hit it off the gate, and what we do is we'll send you. Remind me and get off. I send you the stuff, and we'll set the time. It'll be the top of the hour, or it'll be the second hour. Probably the second, and we'll set it that way everybody will know. I get with Hatter. That way he can do the production and make sure that we don't have these type of hurdles to go over on tomorrow. That'll be good. So what we'll do is we'll cut it short now, and we applaud everybody for trying to weather this storm with us, and we'll let Say Pay go now, and we'll let him come on back tomorrow, and make sure you guys know this is a good conversation, because this team I really feel has a chance to be special. I'm looking at the roster. There are multiple players on this team that really, if they had a reunion in 10 years, it'll be really good for us prominent people in life. It's one of those types of teams that's gonna make it in life. Basketball is gonna be a tool to get most of them there. I've seen this type of team come through Houston a time or two before. Trust me, guys. So thanks a bunch. We applaud Fam Elite, Say Pay, with you, and hey man, appreciate you hanging with us. We'll try back on tomorrow. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, and that is Say Pay, guys, and he is, we thank him. We show you guys this. Let's see, let me get that off of there, right there, and this right here. This is the picture of, like I said, so much to get into. This is a picture of that team. In case you guys, let me show you that. This is the Fam Elite. I said it was 8 players. There was 7 that played the other day. No, it's 8. It's 8. I said it right. 8. I'm counting them on the picture. No, 7. That's right. Say Pay is in the back of the picture. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. And you guys thinking that you don't need 12 players to go win a championship. You got 7 that can go. That means they all bought in. 8 is the normal, a normal allotment. That's a rotation. It's 7, 8. 7 players. And I think the tallest guy on that team was probably the kid from Matascasita, Jalen Finnan. I've been the tallest guy on the team, 6'5". I've seen that type of team before, man. Houston Heat had a couple of guys that were a little bit taller than that. They had some 6'6", a couple of them, but I've seen this before. We'll talk about that. Now, you can't let a grassroots championship be what somebody remembers you from 10 years from now. So that means you got to keep pushing to find something or to accomplish something greater than, equal to or greater than that accomplishment. People going to remember you from Payal. Now they can still go and reflect on the memories that you created at that time, but that should not be. You follow me? It should not be. For example, we just talked to Say Pay. Which is the greater memory? Remembering him from straight Jesuit or the Houston Heat, or what he's doing for these young men right now? What he's doing right now. This is equal to or greater than. Houston Heat was a fond memory. This is for you able to come back and duplicate it. And this grassroots sector is populated with a lot of guys who once played in the area. So a lot of guys, they felt like, okay, I'm gonna do. That's to say, so much I want to talk to him about tomorrow, and we're gonna that way we're dive into it as far as his ideologies. Well, some people they say, well, man, I'm gonna do this team. I'm gonna do it just like the Houston Heat did it, or I'm gonna do it better than the Houston Heat did. Now, the Houston Heat, those kids did not have to pay any dues. You get me? So they wasn't a sneaker team, but one of the fathers, right? One of the fathers, basically, from my understanding, sponsored everything. Sold a company. I think he had a daughter or something, went to Duke. And yeah. So that's you know, can't wait on that part. I can't wait on that part. This is going to be excuse me. It's going to be pretty intriguing on tomorrow with the family. So also we'll be getting into, guys, we have completed the schedules for the Super 16 extravaganza, which I have right here. October the 4th, 5th, and 6th, the entire schedule. Right? I haven't released it yet. I have to proof it. And I have one high school to talk to and get a confirmation. And then I will publish it this week. I've also completed the schedule for the season opener. November the 8th and the 9th. Not just to fill the teams. I've completed the schedule. A lot of people want y'all to think that they work, and I tell you guys, Super 16, season opener is a schedule for November the 8th and the 9th at the Campbell Center. Also, in case you're wondering what Jim Hicks been doing over here, because you don't see me on social media like you want to, I've also completed the schedule for the Hoops Giving Classic, November the 27th at C. King High School. We got teams. It's a lot of good fire on this day. I'm sorry, y'all, but boy, it's gonna be this gym gonna be rocking on all three events. Also, I've completed the schedule for the Third Ward Jamboree, December the 13th and 14th at Yates High School. All these schedules have been completed and just waiting for release, and which I will do them in not at the same time but in sequence. But meanwhile, I'll be happy to supply you guys with the schedule for the Girls Kickoff Classic. The Girls Kickoff Classic, that's the first of the events, of the scholastic events in November. It's Saturday, November the 2nd at Delmar Fieldhouse. Probably one of the most beautiful settings for basketball in the city. One of the. I love my folks at the Campbell Center. That's a great setting. And they got a lot of improvements at the Campbell Center. Wait till you guys see that. They got digital board on the inside now, on the wall. They building, they putting in. They got new. Oh man, they got. Wait till you get in the Campbell Center this year. Plus the football stadium, they were just completing that next door to it. But this is the schedule for the Girls Kickoff Classic. Look here. Look here. Hardin Jefferson versus A-Leaf Hastings. Bel Air versus Dawson. Shadow Creek versus Dickinson. Cy Springs versus the state champion Duncanville. Followed at 5 o'clock DeSoto and Summer Creek. Right? Tickets will only be $10. This is an affordable event. Here's the thing. With the increase of the visibility of the WNBA and women's basketball, this event, Saturday, November the 2nd, we are reaching out and asking you guys if there's companies or small businesses or people in administration that are interested in getting behind the movement of girls basketball. If you're interested in becoming a partner in this event with us, contact me. I'm funding this entire event out of my pocket. I got to bring teams from out of town because you wanted more teams. You wanted, that's how I do it. Teams locally, they want, give us a Duncanville or DeSoto. Okay, I'll go get them for you. You know, referees cost, everything costs. Last year, put this thing on, I think I lost maybe $3,000 on this event out of my pocket. Brought it back, want to do it for the community. But if somebody want visibility, meaning that your logos on stuff, your table up front with your product on it, putting swag bags or whatever with the guests or the parents or the teams, or you want to just sponsor the hospitality for the out-of-town teams or for the team, let me know. And then we can get you aboard. Now, it has to be a business that don't derive 51% of their revenues from alcohol or gambling. So that's in all respect. We can't do that. Alcohol, tobacco, or gambling. If you derive 51% of your revenue from that, we cannot. We have to respectfully decline. If you want to be a part of the Girls Kickoff Classic, that's Saturday, November the 2nd. My birthday is Sunday, November the 3rd. We got a big party that night. That's why the last game is at 5 o'clock. So go home, that way go home, rinse off, and get on back in there. Right? So I wanted to make sure I share that with you guys. And I'm looking now. And right now we are 53 minutes past the hour. And it's the perfect time for me to remind you guys that the Houston Astros, the Rod Wells, if you run into Rod Wells, you remind him that the Astros just took 2 or 3 games from his Dodgers. I know he's probably somewhere out there hiding. Astros are tied for first place right now in the American League West Division. They will play, of course, today. 7:10 this evening, hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. And man, you know what? Man, if I feel good enough, I might want to go to that game. Skeens is on the mound for Pittsburgh. That's the young man who won the MVP of the national championship for LSU just last year in college baseball. He started in the All-Star game as a rookie this year. I think he's only like the second guy to do that. And he's pitching tonight against the Astros. This Pittsburgh team has been pretty solid as they're chasing St. Louis and Milwaukee in the Central Division standings. Man, yeah, I'm gonna see if I'm feel good enough to it in regard to getting out in the air. As you guys can see, I've been battling with sinus issues. So that's something, yeah, I'm gonna check on that part right there. But also, we got let's see what else we got. Got people heard me talk about the Super 16. They trying to get in there. I don't know if I got any space left. I got to finish doing roll calls. That's why I haven't released the schedule yet. And but anyway, I want to thank you guys for lasting these 2 hours with me, especially on the day when y'all seen me have to drink my honey. Endured all this talking and the technical difficulty. But I like the Astros. The Astros makes it the postseason. Yankees gonna fire their coach. They're not no longer even first place no more. Baltimore Orioles is a game and a half up on the Yankees right now. But of course the Yankees are a wild card team if the playoffs ended today. Cleveland Indians taking care of their business over there in the Central. It's good stuff. Now today is regarding to if you're concerned as we get ready to land the plane, the USA women's basketball team just tipped off. USA women's basketball just tipped off. I'm trying to see what channel, that way you guys can go. And I think they got on most cable networks, they have the Olympics streaming on most of your networks, of your cable provider. You know, if you have that on your system or whatnot. But I'm going to see if anybody know what channel is on, and you can feel free to post that so that we can know. I know the women's basketball once again are playing Japan, and that was a 145 tip today. Swimming and water polo and all that is going to make up the rest of the day, but I can't wait until tomorrow so we can talk with Say Pay and we can talk some basketball and get some score therapy in. That's going to be the thing that I can't. Tomorrow going to be like the first day of school. Once again, guys, okay, there you go. Larry Etienne says on the USA Network or the Peacock app. So the USA Network or the Peacock app, and you guys can find, if you so choose to do so, you can find the USA women's team on cable. I'm looking right now. I'm trying to search the USA and seeing if it's on there. But meanwhile, I'm gonna let you guys get on up out of here when I do that right there. I'm trying to find what channel is USA. I got it on there somewhere. I'll deal with it in a minute. But anyway, I want to thank you guys again. I gotta go and take me some meds now and lay down. Hopefully I got enough strength to get down to City Hall today. Show my respects to the great Sheila Jackson Lee as she's laying in state at City Hall. She did a lot of fighting for a lot of the urban communities in Houston. as a member of the congressional district. So she attended last year's season opener. Actually, she came through there, supported it, graced it with her presence, and she's one of the few congresswomen or congresspersons that, you know, I had on speed dial. Whenever I reached out to her, she would respond. I'd text her, she'd text me, you know, and seriously, she showed up. I remember, 20 years ago, I think I had a class reunion or something, and I text Sheila and I was like, yo, you know, it's Cashmere High School class reunion or something. Won't you pop up? We're gonna be at this restaurant, you know, and that way next thing you know, Sheila showed up. This was 20 years ago. Every time I called up on her to show up somewhere, she showed up. For real. My birthday last year, she didn't show up there, but she sent her assistant. They came out with a proclamation. That's good stuff, man. Gone too soon. So, we'll dedicate today's show to Sheila Jackson Lee. But anyway, we got to get up out of here. Slide down Dino's back. Share the show on your way out of the door, guys. We'll see right back at it tomorrow. You guys be safe out there. Peace. Chop shop.